Hello, students. Here we are with our very important topic from genetics class 10th, that is heredity and evolution. Before starting our chapter, let us discuss the key terms of the chapter, the basic point of the chapter. Number one, the name of the chapter is heredity. So, what is heredity? The passing on characteristics from parents to offspring is known as heredity or inheritance. The passing on characters that passes from one generation to the next generation is called heredity or inheritance. Variation, the differences in the characteristic of the organism of a species is called variation. The differences that occur between the parent and the offspring is known as variation. So let's start the chapter. Appearance of variation during reproduction. Appearance of variation, what that mean? Like how we identify the variation, whether it is asexual or sexual reproduction. A offspring receives common basic body design with the parent. So this is a kind of similarity between parent and offspring. The next one is subtle changes. Subtle changes, here we can consider ourselves only. Our faces are just different with our parents. So this is subtle change, variation. This is a kind of subtle changes between us and our parents. Variation during sexual reproduction, why appears due to, here's the reason. The question can be variation during sexual reproduction, why they appear. So the basic reason for sexual as well as asexual reproduction is errors during DNA replication. The basic reason is this only, as the sexual reproduction is more complex as compared to asexual reproduction, so the complexity give rise to variation. The chances of variation are maximum in sexual reproduction and minimum in asexual reproduction. So errors during DNA replication. At the time of cell division, when DNA starts replication, there is a proper sequence of DNA. If that sequence get disturbed, this leads to the variation. It can be done in sexual as well as asexual reproduction. The rest are for sexual reproduction only, like crossing over. During meiosis, at the time of haploid gamete, when crossing over of chromosomes is there, it can also lead to variation. The third point is random union. Random union of male and female gametes at the time of fertilization. There is no sequence of the union of male and female gametes. So this also leads to variation. Now, there is some more important point in this concept, that is variation produced during asexual reproduction are much less than the variation produced during sexual reproduction, because it can be question, a very favorite question of board, it is obviously why. So the reasons are small inaccuracies in DNA replication, as in the asexual reproduction, if we are talking about, the main reason for variation is this only, as there is the single parental case. In sexual reproduction, we need both the parents, and in asexual reproduction, single parent can give rise to the whole organism. So in asexual reproduction, the only reason for variation can be errors during DNA replication. But in sexual reproduction, as it is it is required both the parents, so it is a more complex part. So with that complexity, it leads to a very lengthy process. So there is the crossing over also leads to the variation. The fusion of male and female gametes also lead to the variation, as I discussed earlier. So in asexual reproduction, no crossing over is there, no maternal and paternal cases are there, no exchange of heredity materials are there. no fusion of male and female gametes are there. So the chances of variation are very less in asexual reproduction as compared to the sexual reproduction. So that's all for this lecture. See you in the next video. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe.